Good morning, board members. We're here on a hearing not involving disputed issues of material fact on Department of Health versus Emanuel Falcone, MD, case number 2008-23336. The administrative complaint in this case involved alleged violation of section 458.3311B for having a license, medical license revoked in another jurisdiction, the jurisdiction in this case being New York. The circumstances, after holding hearings in New York, the New York Medical Board issued a determination and order on September 25th, 2008, which revoked the respondent's license to practice medicine in New York. The respondent, by election of rights, requested an informal hearing, the hearing that we're here on. At this time, the petitioner believes it's appropriate for the board to entertain a motion adopting the allegations of fact from the administrative complaint and the findings of fact of the board.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Department.
At this time, it would be appropriate for the respondent or respondent's counsel to address the board concerning legal argument or mitigating evidence.
Very well, thank you. I want to remind the board members, the audience, and council that we have all the information in our files, so in the sake of time, if you can be brief, concise, and to the point, and please not reiterate the whole file that we have. Thank you.
May I proceed?
Sir?
Thank you. My name is Weekly. I'm here on behalf of Dr. Falcone. I've been before this board and other boards for a little over 20 years, and this is the most unusual case that I've seen. As Mr. McPherson mentioned at the start of this meeting, we're here to present mitigating facts and factors to the board, and this is a case in which there's a great deal of mitigation. Although I know the board has reviewed this matter, I'd like to refresh your memory on a few facts and a few points of law. Dr. Falcone is without question a well-trained psychiatrist. His CV should be in your file. Approximately 15 months ago, Dr. Falcone's New York license was revoked, and that event was appropriately and promptly reported to the board. Since that time, Dr. Falcone has continued to practice in Florida, and he has changed drastically and is on the path to rehabilitation through his own efforts and with the assistance of PRN and Dr. Johnson, who is his personal psychiatrist and is also a PRN approved evaluator. Dr. Falcone was evaluated by Dr. Barbara Stein, who is also an approved PRN evaluator, and that was in February of 2009. Dr. Stein reported that she believed that Dr. Falcone could practice under appropriate conditions and supervision and made recommendations consistent with her findings and her opinion. The letter is in the board's file. In addition, PRN promptly accepted Dr. Falcone's application for a contract that occurred in March 2009, 9 months ago. Dr. Palm, in his September 22nd letter to the board, reported, quote, reporting that Dr. Falcone, quote, is an active and successful participant in the Professional Resources Network, unquote. Dr. Palm further writes that Dr. Palm, quote, continues to perform well working for the Florida Department of Corrections at Florida State Prison, males only, unquote. From August to November of 2009, Dr. Falcone has voluntarily completed courses awarding a total of approximately 52 AMA Category 1 credits on professional boundaries and ethics with an emphasis on causes, treatment, and prevention. Certificates attesting to those courses are in your file. Dr. Falcone's peers and co-workers have written supportive letters that are in your file. We also expected to have a witness here today. However, he has been precluded from coming here because 2 days ago, as a result of the publicity, the Department of Corrections asked Dr. Falcone for his resignation, and Dr. Falcone submitted a resignation. To Dr. Falcone's regret and chagrin, this matter has turned into a high-profile media circus during the last 3 days. This is unfortunate because it focuses on the past, and where we want to focus the board is on the future and on Dr. Falcone's rehabilitation. We know that this would be in conformity with the stated guidelines of the board and of the guidelines for discipline. For the last board meeting in October, Dr. Falcone had a consent agreement, which was accepted by the department but was later withdrawn. The final notarized consent agreement is in your material. Specifically, the terms were reprimand, $10,000 fine, cost not to exceed $1,500, 50 hours of community service, CME ethics and professionalism, PRN participation, restriction to the treatment of male patients, 3 years probation with indirect supervision. The guidelines, your Rule 64B8-8.001, I had expected that you would have heard those guidelines from the PSU, but it includes, of course, revocation. The purpose of the imposition of discipline, however, according to your rules, quote, the purpose of the imposition of discipline are to punish the applicants or licensees for violations and to deter them from future violations, to offer opportunities for rehabilitation when appropriate, and to deter other applicants or licensees from violation, unquote. In addition, the Medical Quality Assurance Annual Report lists as one of its goals, maintaining healthcare standards through, quote, discipline, education, and remediation. So we asked the board to look at this as a case in which there are mitigating circumstances and mediation is quite possible. Dr. Palm is here, and we would like to, I'd like to review a couple of cases first, and that is, I've provided this information to the board's counsel and to the PSU. There are just under 200 cases in which there has been revocation in another jurisdiction, and of those approximately 200 cases, approximately 2.5% of those did not result in revocation in the state of Florida. Therefore, it is possible for the board to use its wide discretion in determining the punishment for the revocation of a license in another jurisdiction. So we ask you to consider Dr. Falcone as a worthy candidate for rehabilitation. Dr. Falcone will accept whatever restrictions the board chooses to impose and I think that the aforementioned terms would be a good starting place. Dr. Falcone is here. He wishes to address the board and to respond to any questions that the board may have. And Dr. Palm is here, and he can give his evaluation of Dr. Falcone. And I would particularly ask Dr. Palm if he feels that Dr. Falcone is a potential candidate for rehabilitation. Thank you.
Dr. Falcone, would you like to address the board briefly?
Could we let Dr.
Sure, Dr. Palm, go ahead first. You don't have to say anything if you don't want, Dr. Falcone. That's up to you, as well as you, Dr.
You understand?
You just want to make sure for the record.
I would like to underline just a few things for the board. Number one, this case came to us after the Department of Health was already involved. So any decisions regarding his practice had nothing to do with us initially. As you all know from the case, it's quite a bizarre, contorted scenario, and one that is obviously very disturbing. He was evaluated by Dr. Stein. Based upon her evaluation, I do want to